Hello and welcome back to another update. This one we'll be talking about 1.9 and where we're going to go with the future of not just Neotech, but some of our other mods. And I'll get into that here in a moment. So as you can see clearly, because I am dual wielding, we have the 1.9 version of Neotech up and running. Everything is working as expected. There's a few weird things that is reliant upon Forge to fix. We're waiting for that to happen. For instance, you can't shift right click at the moment because player interaction is broken, but for the moment, standard right click will dismantle a pipe. Hopefully that will get fixed soon, but at the moment 1.9 is still very early and it's very alpha stage at this point. It's not necessarily even player ready. We have everything is up and working. The I/O that is updated is in 1.9. From what I can tell, everything seems to be working fairly smoothly. It's not as stable as 1.8 because of the reasons with Forge and a couple other things that we're still working out. Not too much change, but of course having two hands sort of changes a lot of the interaction between player and blocks and items and such. But we've done our best to make sure that all of that's handled. The models, especially for connected textures, have been completely rewritten. With the update to 1.9, they got rid of some of the deprecated models that we were using, so we had to get on the new system. So if things look a little bit different, that's why you can't see the back of these right now. I actually decided to make it like that, as standard glass does, so you only see the faces you're looking at. You don't see the back faces as well. I might add that back in, but I feel this is a little bit more efficient and B just looks better. If you have a strong opinion either way, feel free to let me know, but I don't believe that having the back ends is necessarily required anymore. And as you can see, the rock wall is also working connected textures as well. Pipes, at the moment, multi-part is I'm not going to say broken, because there is a lot that does work, but because of the said Forge issues, there is a lot that doesn't work as well. But as you can see, the pipes do still support multi-part. You can use it to block. All of that's going to be fine. There's a couple issues with placing into blocks that already have multi-parts because the interaction event is not updated, but that shouldn't be a problem forever. Hopefully that will be fixed very soon. There's some changes to Forge that are in the works that should solve all of that. All the metals are good. The tools should be fine. I've seen some people mention that with 1.9, if we're going to do electric shields and stuff, and as far as I know, I plan on doing it. I don't believe the functionality of the shield is hard-coded to its own single item, so I should be able to extend or re-implement much of the same. Things like the elytra might not be as easy to make an electric variant of. I would like to, because I would like to be able to have that unbreakable elytra type thing, but again, I haven't looked into it enough personally, and that in particular feels like something that might be very closely tied to vanilla code, so if it doesn't end up making it in, that's why, but just know I'm thinking about it. Decorative suns, the pipes, everything's here, everything does as you would expect. If you're going to be using this before multi-part updates, you might get some crashes opening up the interface for the interface pipes. I can open it, but if I were to open this tab, I would crash. So unfortunately, there's no way to configure them at the moment, but I've put in an issue for that, and it should get fixed very soon. It probably won't even matter by the time you are watching this video, but anyway, on to our future plans. 1.8 is pretty much dead from most modders' perspectives. Funnily enough, all of a sudden it's now the old version. So we are going to drop feature support for 1.8. This doesn't mean we have stopped development on it, but it means we won't be adding anything to that version. So if we were to implement a new machine, that would be in 1.9. However, if we find a bug with existing things that are in 1.8, we will retroactively put that fix in. So you don't have to worry about that. We still will try to keep it as stable as possible while we are moving into the new 1.9. I don't imagine 1.8 is going to stay around too long after 1.9 gets more stable, but we will try to keep it updated as that goes. So Neotech is pretty much going to be focused on a 1.9 mod from here on out. We, unfortunately, as you can see, are having issues with our dependencies on A, Forge, because everyone needs Forge, and it's a little messed up at the moment, and B, Multipart, but we've been working with the guys over there at Multipart, and they're actually really great at helping us solve these issues and get things changed. This update's kind of had weird side effects for everybody, so we're all sort of working together to get this all figured out. On to the other bit of news. This is not necessarily related to Neotech. However, I have decided that Modular Systems will be coming to 1.9. However, it was a 1.7 mod, and a lot that happened has changed. So, to go from 1.7 to 1.9 would be substantially difficult, and I don't know if that's something that would be worth doing, or if I would rather rewrite the mod. It's likely that if anything gets ported, it will be the furnace and crusher, the multi-block structures that you build that are hollow. I feel those are fairly stable, and I wouldn't be too opposed to handling it that way. But I have also learned a lot since the last time I was developing in Modular Systems, so I also kind of want to see if I could do it better, make it more efficient, a little easier to manage for people, and we'll see where it goes from there. So that's where Modular Systems is going. I will say that the storage system, I know a lot of people like it, and I personally really miss having a good storage system in 1.9. So that will probably be the focus of Modular Systems going forward. If the furnaces do not get immediate update, the storage will. But the storage system is going to be scrapped entirely. The concept of a growing storage system based off of a core is going to remain. However, the mechanics behind it are going to be significantly different. I wish I had a better way to describe this for you, but essentially I'm going to move away from an item stack approach, meaning that they are more like chest slots that hold a stack and then it lines up those stacks, and move more towards a integer based approach, meaning I get the item stack ID and an integer amount of how much there is. So that's where we're going from there. Each slot will have an item stack assigned to it and then a number for how many there are, and we're going to try to manage MBT and everything as well, so don't worry about that. At the moment, I have planned the core and the expansions around it and how I want to go about that. Of course, there's a lot of things that come up with that, such as if you break one, how much do I let go? But I think I have an idea on how to handle that. And I want to bring more applied energistics style upgrades to it. I know I had like the crafting upgrade, that'll stay, all of that will stay. In fact, the crafting might just come with it. I'm not sure if that's even going to be an upgrade anymore. So the main change is moving to the large stacks where it has the amount and they all condense into a single stack. Just like Applied Energistics does, it'll be the same concept as that. And that'll make things a little bit more efficient, because then if I want to update the client with a server change, I can just tell it, this item stack, this is the new value. Don't resend the entire inventory over the packet. We ran into some issues where the packet would be too big and it just wouldn't send. There is a limit to how big you can make a packet. So that would give me the ability to change that much easier. Along with that, there'll be export, import stuff, all sorts of fun stuff. And I'm not sure if I'm going to have the simple expansions, the basic expansions, remain full blocks. I might make them sort of pipe looking, but I'm not positive yet. The other option I had was just wiring up with a string, kind of like immersive engineering wires work. Just sort of a way to connect them. I'm not sure if using these big old blocks is necessarily how I want to do it, but that'll probably be where I go with it first because it's easier to develop. There won't be a power requirement as always. There will be power requirement on special blocks such as import and export, but I am also planning on making modular storage not just items, but also have fluid and energy expansions as well. So hopefully that is doable. It will interact in much of the same way. There will be 3 expansion types: item expansion, fluid expansion, and energy expansion. By default, it will have all 3, so you can start and begin immediately with all 3 of them. You will then add on those expansions to increase the capacity of each relevant system, and it will be able to push and pull power, so you would be able to get fluids, items, and power all from one face of a machine, essentially. So that's my goal. Will it happen? We'll see. It's coming soon. I've started a build of it for 1.9, but as I've looked at how I used to do models, I've realized that it's very bad. I learned a lot since the very beginning of 1.8. That was the first mod I'd ported into 1.8, and I did not understand the model system, but having been stuck in 1.8 and 1.9 now for quite a while, I understand it much better. The pipes even are all simple models. All of these are models. It's easier for me to make the more complicated things I want, and in fact the connected textures renderer that the expansions will use is actually in Bookshelf, and I don't really have to do anything, so that's great, and I will definitely be hooking into that. So that's a bit of my ramble. I just wanted to let you know that we are in 1.9. You can download it on Jenkins, but you will need the latest experimental build of MC Multipart, and that is on his Maven. I am not sure if he has that publicly available. If not, I'm sorry. You're just going to have to wait for the release. I will keep you posted on my Twitter about that. We're stuck between a rock and a hard place as we wait for Forge and Multipart to update. There's not much we can do. We can't release until Multipart's ready because we don't want to release and there be crashes. But we released a 1.9 and then Forge had to go and change, and now it's crashing on that version of Forge. But as we updated into 1.9, we added Multipart support back, and it's not ready for release. So bear with us. I know we've always been great at getting you builds out as quickly as possible, and I really hate that we're stuck in this position where it's out of our control, but there's really nothing we can do. We're working with Multipart, we're working with the guys at Forge, we're doing what we can, and a lot has been getting better very quickly. Everyone else has been working very hard. I'm not trying to throw them under the bus, they've been doing great, but that is why we in particular are a little slower to update during 1.9, is we are reliant upon others, and that's just how it's going to be. But once everything is out, we will have fantastic pipes with multi-part support. They are already pretty much there, so that's good. We will have all this fun new stuff to do, and I think you guys will really enjoy 1.9. I've been loving it. We've been playing on a bit of a test server. The whole offhand thing is amazing. It makes things so much better. It's very much more efficient. So yeah, that's about all I got for you guys. Be looking for some updates on modular systems coming in the future, as I'm going to slightly shift my focus into that for the time being while Neotech is stabilizing in 1.9 and his Forge and Multipart update. So you can follow me here on YouTube. If you like to hear me ramble, that'd be great. I'll probably be doing it a lot more. I post a lot of stuff on Twitter. I've been trying to be a little more active on all of these lately, so you can find me there. I've got a Patreon. They will get early builds, so if you are interested in early builds of things that have not gone public, I know it's difficult to do because we do have a public Jenkins, which is our build server, but you will get to see early screenshots and stuff before anybody else. And there will be more benefits as more sign up, because unfortunately I don't have too much to offer at the moment besides early access to builds and previews and stuff. So if you're interested, do that, and it's always nice to have people showing support. We do this as a hobby. I do it outside of my job. I don't expect any compensation or anything like that. I do it because I enjoy it. So if you like what we do, head on over there. Dionovan's got one as well, so you can feel free to go over to his Patreon. And that's about it. If you got any questions, go to the forums, comment sections here, whatever. I don't care. But see you guys whenever I have Modular Systems ready to show off. Goodbye.